So, Eureka, thank you so much for joining us today. Uh, Eureka, you're based over in Perth, Western Australia. And my
Mhm.
understanding is you are the leader of the Filipino community out that way. That's
Yes.
that's awesome. Tell us a bit about yourself firstly, and we're going to be here today to talk about the Tri-Biotic product, which is an incredible product, and I know that you're a big fan. But we'd love to get to know a little bit about you first, before we jump in.
Yes, thank you, Loki. It's a privilege to have this session with you. It's one of the sort of like I want to have that exclusive time with Loki because I think you got so much wealth of knowledge when it comes to health. And I'm not the healthiest of all. And that's why I'm in this journey with Isagenix. So I'm a mom of two. I'm an accountant and I do have a few businesses that my husband and I operate. And my passion now, I call it a project passion, is leading a team with Isagenix purely because it aligns to where I want to go. And this is something I want to do when I retire. So, my as a profession, I deal with people in finance and helping them to have a better financial freedom. And it's interesting. I felt like I don't have it for myself, and I felt because I need to do better. Because I one is because I don't feel I'm living my full potential because I'm constantly dealing with my health. Experiencing this for myself and I'm seeing it with my clients, there's more to it than, what is it really is missing. And one thing that
Mm,
I reflected is like I didn't have enough education about wellness. I learned a lot about how to make money, but not so much on how to invest in my well-being. And because of my endometriosis, I was diagnosed in 2017. And that's the time when I had to prioritize my health. And that's
mm,
where my wellness journey started. And because of me being more aware, and I started to see where I'm at and where my future would be, and I start to see how my mom is aging. And that made me realize that if I don't change now, I probably would be on that same journey as where my mom is, which not strong enough. She might be, mentally strong, but physically I don't see. Like we accept it as a Asian community, we accept that aging is just like be looked after by the family and frail and that's
mm,
where I find that I probably have to do it for myself. No one's gonna tell me, no one's
mm,
gonna make me do it except if I don't advocate it. And I want to lead my children. I have two kids, and interesting, they are into sports and they very active, and I support them. But yet I'm not advocating myself for that. And
mm.
yeah, when I had that realization, it's got to do with our foundation, which our parents never actually taught us how to be healthy.
Mm, it's so true. I love how you are talking about when you're getting into better health and you're able to think a lot more clearly. A lot of the time when people are, as we are aging, they don't realize that mental clarity and the way that we used to be able to perform, mental tasks becomes something that is not as efficient. We try to push against it as much as what we possibly can, or maybe not admit it. But when you get a chance to actually start to feel better and your health comes together, you're able to now make better decisions. That mental acuity is back and you feel much better, right? You're able to make much better decisions. And I think that's pretty amazing, because a lot of the time the people in the position, like you mentioned there, that probably need it the most are on that journey where they're just trying to work, they're trying to earn the money, set their future up, do all these sorts of things. And they don't realize that this could be such an important part of being able to get them there. And if we look at this product that we're putting focus to today with the Tri-Biotic, how did you come across the Tri-Biotic as being an important part of what you really wanted to do for yourself, and what has it done?
Well, it's even though I was in Isagenix for like 4 months or 6 months, then I just didn't understand. Like, there's so much to learn about the product, and because
Yeah.
when I become into this business, I was just focused on collagen. We're like I was labeled as the collagen queen back then, because that's
Yeah.
all we were like sharing. And then I went to Forever Strong. That's when I was recognized an executive, and I went there and I met Paul Sierra, and he was talking about these 30 days, the protein pacing. And then during that time, the Tri-Biotics was launched. And I think you're the one
Mm.
that presented about the and then it's still embedded in my head about the 7 type of poo. um, and that's
You
still
did.
like it's on my phone, and I was so embarrassed. I was literally embarrassed because with my condition I do have like imbalanced hormone with my guts not being healthy, and I had the leaky gut syndrome, and
Mm.
I had suffered that for a very long time because I'm gluten intolerant and lactose intolerance. I really don't have enough, I guess, ways on how to eat better.
Mm.
And then when you show that 7 type of poo, I was like, oh my God, I will number 7.
Mm.
And to me, that was normal.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that was my aha moment because I'm not normal. This is not right. I was like, so when I realized that, it was like, I have to do better because it looks like I'm actually just surviving, not thriving. And
Mm.
when it launched, I can only buy maximum 2 jars in that session. So I bought 2, and then I had a try. It's so yummy. And like when it's medicine, it feels like you're drinking something yucky. So I
Mm.
don't like taking medicine. So
Mm.
had a try, and it was that flavor of the berry taste. So when I tried it, and I felt this sense of something, like something had awakened. So it must be the life culture in there. So it took 2 days, and I remember a good food
Yeah. It's a moment.
because
It's things we have to
it
consider. Yeah. Good.
and it's only 2 days,
Mm.
and I didn't know how to have a good food because I was number 7, because I have accepted that we're always gonna have this condition, and I
Mm.
normalized that.
Mm. No,
So
thank
it
you for
was, and
sharing. It's good to-
yeah,
because I
I know
think
it's a
it's
little
yeah.
bit embarrassing for me
No, no,
to
no,
share.
no. But I think it's really relevant because and sometimes we need to be aware of the signs that, like you said, that the body's not working as efficiently as it can be because we just get used to what we're doing. It just becomes our normal, like you said. You just think that that's all the normal, and when you get an idea of, hey, that I could use some help here, and then things start to change. It's an exciting progression within your own health because you realize now things are working a lot more efficiently. And this product does so many things with yeah, aid in digestion. And I mean, the gut, as we know now, is important for so much. I mean, if people only knew, like 90% of your serotonin is made in the gut, which is obviously what helps us feel up and elated, and and really with it. So I mean, it's a huge amount that people should be understanding about the gut. And this particular product really does sort of cover all elements of gut health. And it's a very, very potent and powerful product. So at that stage, that was coupled with the collagen. Was that the main products that you were taking? So that was
Look,
those that you were.
when I did this, the wellness, I said, oh, I really have to go through 30 days reset, and I was
Yeah,
following it through. But the
yeah.
minute that, because we had Isoflash that helped with that as well,
Okay,
but
yeah,
I didn't have that full, I guess, healthy feeling, that
yeah,
clean when
yeah,
you
yeah,
actually pass through. Like I didn't have that because I felt like I still struggle. But
yeah,
I'm being honest here, it only took 2 days for me to regulate, to normalize myself. And I felt, this is what I said to my husband, because I never felt so clean
yeah.
after going to the
Wow.
toilet. That
And
that
it's a
was
hard feel.
really,
It's hard to explain, isn't it? Like when
yeah,
we say clean, but I know what you mean. It's just, and so when people say clean eating, sometimes it sounds good, but until you actually really start to feel like your body is working as it should, it's a pretty an extraordinary feeling to feel. Um, And obviously then you do the lactose free, you do the plant-based type shakes to
No,
working it around it, do you? Or you're able to have it with your vanilla?
yeah.
And
So
that's interesting
after
too. Yeah,
I used
because
to take plant-based, but
yeah,
I find that my husband, when I start to taste the dairies, the normal shake, the whey one, as I like that one better, right? Because I
yeah,
only have vanilla and chocolate as an option. I can't play around with things. So I like the Isopro is my favorite.
oh,
And I
great.
lay it with different flavors, and I love my greens, Isopro and vanilla. It's my to go to, and I don't have that reaction anymore as I used to with the lactose intolerance. It's now normal for me. So that's why I said to my, because I'm scared, like, having diagnosed with the leaky gut and gluten and lactose intolerance, I'm fearful of eating.
Mm,
And I'm always tired. I'm
mm,
always not enjoying my food because I'm scared of what would happen to me after I eaten something that doesn't sit well with me, because I will be going straight to the toilet. So I don't have
mm, mm,
celiac, but I have very sensitive in terms of my leaky gut.
mm,
Um, so with the tribiotics, you know what? I can cheat. Now I eat gluten. If I really like the food and it's not gluten free, I eat it, and then I'll just dose up with my tribiotics.
mm. It's,
Oh,
it's,
yeah, because I have to enjoy living, right? So
yeah,
I know the consequences, but I normally double up with my tribiotics, and I drink it before I go to bed. I don't drink in the
it's,
morning, because it gives me, I think it's work well for me at night. And
yep.
yeah, so that's where I don't, as I eat dairy products now. I don't, I still think that my lactose intolerance has now settled.
Mm,
And definitely with the shakes and the 30 days, it made a big difference for me because I feel more energetic. And one thing I notice is that my sleep is sound. I sleep better. Is a sound. The Some people don't understand when you don't really have a good sleep, but I will be sleeping restfully. I sleep
mm.
before, but it's not sound. How do you explain it? That you can
It's
wake
not,
up and be happy.
yes.
Because before I wake
Active
up, it's
state.
like I have to get up now. I haven't felt like I've rested yet. That's the
Mm,
big difference. And that's,
yeah.
because my husband and I are doing this as a journey together, and then we share our experiences. So my husband would drink his tribiotics um, during the day, and he drink it
Mm,
like it's a cocktail. So he'll be walking around the home drinking it with a straw. So and when I saw him he's enjoying it, I followed it, and it actually tastes nicer when you drink it with a straw rather than drinking it. So
yeah.
it's like discovering like that and sharing the experience make a big difference for us.
Mm,
And that's our to go to. We have about, honestly, when it was, because at the moment it's on the discount, it's a wellness pack. I bought about seven of them because I know
mm,
what it's like. When we drink it, I give it to my mom, my in-law, we drink it as a family. So
mm,
this is the one thing that I knew that the result for me is immediate.
mm.
2 days
Yeah.
for me. And if I skip it, and I could feel a difference in my gut.
Mm. It's interesting when you talk about the lactose intolerance there to Eureka, with then being able to have the Isagenix products. This happens a fair bit where a lot of the time people will feel like, okay, now every time I'd have dairy, I have a reaction, so that must mean I can't have dairy. But it's sometimes that the dairy itself is not great quality for a start. And then if the body's and the gut particularly is not working efficiently, then it just makes all of those matters a lot worse. But because the protein that we use, specifically the whey protein isolate and concentrates, it is hyperallergenic, which means that it's very little chance that a person has a reaction to it. So myself personally, I'm also lactose intolerant, supposedly, but I've always been able to have the isogenic shakes. Obviously, people have to handle that with care. Each person's a bit different, but you're right. When your gut is working more efficiently, then it's producing all the right types of bacteria. Everything's working in harmony. There's a lot less reaction to the body because the body is able to cope with the different types of foods and extremes of foods. So that's a really great thing that I think people underestimate in a world where when people are taking supplements, is so geared towards whether it's weight loss or I need to lose this amount or I need to put on this muscle, I need to perform. The true essence of how well we're going to do in any of those is really going to come back to how well our body is digesting food, how well our gut is operating so that it can produce all that it needs to help us to think clearer, to get through the day, all of these sorts of things. So it's such an
For,
important part.
for me, it's like I wasn't even in a. It wasn't even for me to lose weight. I just want
Yeah.
to have energy. So when I go
Yeah.
for my Pilates and after yoga, I had to take a quick nap because I don't have anything left. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so for me to have that energy, it's a priority because I have a busy life. I don't just sit back and I have to burn a lot of energy during the day because of the stress. Um,
Mm.
so when it comes to Isagenix, I realized that I was so unhealthy. I looked skinny, but I was actually skinny fat. I have more
Mm.
fat than muscle in my body. And when I
Mm. Mm.
realized that I actually, if it happens to be sick again, I will look so, like, the skin doesn't look right. And then you shrink your face.
Mm.
So one thing that
Mm.
I discovered about having the isogenics, even if I was sick, I can just, take my shake and I know I'm eating well. Because sometimes we cannot process food when we're not well. But then when I
Mm.
have my shake, I felt energetic. I can get up. I don't have to be sitting around because it makes you want to move. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It makes you want to move. Like you have this energy stored that you want to burn it. So
Yeah.
that's why when I got into this journey, um, people were like, "What are you doing?" Because I was just doing accounting, and then all of a sudden, 1 year into Isagenix, I started two businesses. I was a sick
Yeah.
person. So they
Mm.
because of what were you doing? Because I'm just doing this,
Mm.
and I get sick very easily because my immune system is very low. So I'm the
Mm.
first person to get gastro
Mm.
because my immune system. So I can share this story. Is like we just came back from Colorado. So a day before we flew out, I have to take my daughter to a doctor. And then going into the doctor, there's a baby that has a gastro. And I kid you not, the next day I caught the gastro and I was so
Mm.
sick. And then the next thing I know is like, I cannot be flying to Colorado with being gastro. So what I did is I took Tri-Biotics, double dose it, drink it, and then I sort of puke a bit. Before the Uber came, I took Cleanse for Life and drink that, and I was good to go.
Mm.
So when I used to, before I said, when I get gastro, I used to be sick for 2 weeks because I got
Mm.
nothing left. I'll be like vomiting. But
Mm.
tribiotics is what we do because when my children get gastro, that's what I give them. I just give
Mm.
them tribiotics to get their fluid up and get that energy in. And yeah, we don't suffer that much at home with when it comes to those bacterial issue.
Mm.
The and if they're not well, we go reach to our immune support. My kids don't like the tablets of immune support, but I bought them an immune support with the hydrates,
Mhm.
electrolyte. That's what I
Yep.
give them. So that's why my
Yeah.
kids now is like, oh, mom is like isogenics freak. Works, right? It works all the time.
Yeah.
And the one thing I so grateful about is because of the isogenics, my face has recovered because I used to have a lot of acne and I used
Yeah.
to have scarring with the
Yeah. Wow.
implementation with the drinking more water, the cleanse for life and collagen.
Yep.
I have no wrinkles, no scarring
Yeah.
on my skin
Great.
now, and I'm
Amazing.
47. So that's why we sold a lot of collagen and onboarding the
Mm.
team to educate them about the wellness because they don't understand So we educate.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
with the 30 days reset, this is where my challenge is, because it's so many way on how you speak. And I'm an accountant. No one trusts me when it comes to bulking up. And that's I always share your 30 days reset. I say, this is the guy you need to listen to if you don't believe me.
You did it. Yeah.
It's a lot
Thanks
of
for that.
products. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it all comes back to that. If they've got a good foundation, whatever goal the person has, they're going to be a lot better off being able to have a really clean, clear system that is starting with a blank canvas. If they're able to cleanse, then put good nutrients into their body. If they want to build muscle, it's the perfect environment. If they want to lose fat, it's the perfect environment. If you want to use that energy to go for a run, like you said, you've got to get rid of this extra energy. You can use it for that as well too. And that's what part of what I love about what we do is that it's an entire solution for whatever the person's looking at wanting to do, because it works with the person, not just in one direction, but it kind of
It's,
covers all different elements, right? Yeah.
it's like they said, oh, it's too sweet, the Tri-Biotic. So I have 10 members at the moment that she's diabetic. And she joined, when I met her, she said, I just want to manage my diabetic, my type 2. So I said, try this, because, oh, it's a bit sweet. And I said,
Mm,
oh, maybe it is sweet for you, maybe because you're just a bit of acidic. So just try every day. And then 2 weeks ago, she told me that her blood sugar, she it lowered her blood sugar, and that's what she
mm,
takes every day, and it works for her. So I
mm,
think a lot of people don't really know the result, because they have
mm,
their own problem to resolve. For me, it's
mm,
like, I need my leaky gut sorted, but for her, it's just to balance her sugar. So
mm,
and she said that I always drink this every day. This is what works for me, the
mm,
Tri-Biotic. So
mm,
sharing that experience, it's more authentic if it came from a person that actually went through that, because they can speak about it. Just like for me, I always show them the 7 type of food, because this is my story. I was number
mm,
7, and I didn't even know that's not actually normal. And
mm,
for them to realize, because yeah, I have that. So I say, try it. You got nothing to lose, but more on the better result. Because I don't think it's just, I'm not unique. I'm just have more problems. But I believe that when people were given on something and they doubt that will it work for me, I gone through that process before, and I said, you know what, I got nothing to lose. Like I
mm,
got nothing to lose. It's for me to try, and if it doesn't work for me, at least I tried it.
mm.
That's really what for me is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for trying, because obviously from that initial courage, you've inspired a lot of people after your great results, and obviously now that you're a wonderful advocate for it. And I'm so pleased that it's working really well to be able to give you that greater sense of health as well too, and moving you forward with your own goals in life as well too. Um, that's really great to hear it. So thank you so much for your time. You've been wonderful, and thank you for sharing and being so honest and open. I think that's a
But I
wonderful thing that people
yeah,
can learn from as well too.
yeah, I'm grateful for Isagenix, because I didn't know there is another way of living, truly.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't
Yeah.
know. I have accepted what I had, and I realized that I can do better. And by just doing that, trying, and why not? And now to this day, reflecting back, and to me, it's just, I have a second chance of living, second chance of
Mm,
doing it better. And how can I help more people to have this awareness through my vision to influence more of my community. And
mm,
for the day that I started this Isagenix, is always about wellness for me, and it's
mm,
never about money. I think money is the byproduct of what we do, and I'm
mm,
just blessed that because I have this vision to help more people, the money just followed through, and I'm glad that actually buy the money that we earn through the Isagenix, we're able to afford to supplement our family nutritions now, and extended to my mom, my dad, and my father-in-law, my mother-in-law is extended to that, and they actually enjoying the product. There's so many product in Isagenix that they're not aware of, but I'm there discovering like the Zango. You know, I love Zango. My father loves it. That's what we buy every month. I buy the 4 pack. So there's so many things that we can actually share more aside from the 30 days reset. You know, there's so much
Mm.
more in there, and I
Mm.
can't thank you enough for being the voice as well for the 30 days reset, because I use you, I borrow your strength to show into my people's like, you know, if I can't explain it any better to you, you gotta at least listen to this. And as we continue this journey, it's always about how many people we can serve, because I think it's fair that we could actually share a better way of living, and have a go, try it. There's nothing to lose at the end of the day, and have a good poo.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much again, Eureka. That was great. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Loki.